Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Today I'm doing a little bit different reading. It's gonna be dedicated to how our energies are impacted during the Venus retrograde that started on the 22nd of July and will be happening until the 3rd of September. It's quite a big chunk of time. I mean, relatively big, of course, but still. And it's important to remember that Venus, of course, is the goddess of love, and the planet itself is directly responsible, or our placement of Venus in our chart is responsible for how we build relationships, how we recognize things like love, trust, attachment style, all of those, but even being kind and generous in relationships. That's all. I mean, it does include yourself as well, because that's, as we remember, is the most important relationship anyway. But yeah, for the most part, it's, if we think about it, we always think about other people, and it is quite a big deal. And as you understand, the retrograde energy means that this is a time for self-reflection, for introspection. It's a great time to find out what you want to be doing different in your relationships, or figure out why certain things do not work out, especially if it's being repeated over and over again with different people. It's not a great time to start a relationship or try to remodel your relationship with somebody else. You know, like those things where you may have a conflict or an argument, or you just like come to your person and say, I don't like where we are, let's see what we can do different, right? It's not exactly that time right now. If you are starting a new relationship, and actually it can be with anyone, just FYI, it doesn't have to be a romantic partner, wait till after the 3rd of September to make any strong commitment to each other, or, you know, like to stride forward in that relationship. So let it be a bit of a prelude, a bit of a warm-up of, you know, just general getting to know each other, or understanding what each of you actually is expecting from this. So yes, I wasn't gonna do a Venus retrograde reading, but I did have a few questions, so I decided that in my check-in today, it's still gonna be a daily check-in, but the first question I'm gonna be asking is gonna be, how is this Venus retrograde impacting each of the twins? And just realized, got my, there we go. Technical difficulty. How is this impacting twins, each of them? So instead of the energy here and now, I'll be pulling cards for what is the impact during the Venus retrograde, so we understand it better in terms of the twin journey, and how do we relate to ourselves, to our twin, to everybody else. But I will still ask how the twins feeling for each other, and we will get messages between the twins. All is going to be done with the tarot cards today. I will pull a card of self-compassion for each of the twins at the end. So we have a lot going on in this reading. And I'm starting with an oracle deck, and today I picked one of the decks that I don't use very often. It's called Girl by Salvadora, and it's very girly. Yes, it's a lot about that kind of girl power, but I feel like it spoke to me with its feminine energy, and you know, Venus being in that traditionally feminine energy, right? In tarot, this would be the Empress energy, for example. So yeah, let's get a card for each of the twins from here. This will be more like advice. I will read from the book, maybe not everything we'll see, because each of these cards, there are not many cards in this deck, as you can see, but each of them has an article in the book that's connected to it, to like give you more background on the topic, right? But I think being on a twin flame journey, if you've been here for some time, you will be pretty familiar with those sayings, patterns, and topics anyway. So for feminines, we have two cards. A kite flies as far as high as much as you let go. As far and as high as much as you let go. Okay. And you do not change your destiny, you live it. Okay, I am gonna read, especially the destiny one. This one I think is pretty clear. And I'm just gonna say this is very much a Venus retrograde energy, right? This is the time, especially when talking about relationships, and again, think about what is in focus right now. It may not be a twin or your soulmate. It may be a brother, a friend, a mentor, a colleague, right? Whichever relationship is in focus at this time, that it's important. This is about not clinging to the past experience, especially if it was negative, right? It's not about feeling a victim, like, you know, they hurt me or they did this and now I'm like at this bad place, right? This is the opposite. This is like, let the emotions flow through you and let go of that experience, of that burden, for your own sake, first and foremost. You see this, like, thoughts, ideas, goals, possibilities. Yeah, sky's the limit. And now we're gonna see I'm not sure what's the order of this, but I'll find it in a moment. Some people will believe in the word destiny, some are scared of it. Some people don't think it exists. Some people think it is a painting we create every day as we live our lives. The truth is that our destiny is already fixed, decided even before we were born. In a nutshell, right, on the high level, without the details. The alignment of the stars, the convergence of everything in the universe in all its grandeur and uniqueness created a world for us to claim. It is how we get to our destiny that we can control. We can get there with laughter and love, enlightened and aware, with the people we love and love us in return. We can also get there with misery, pain, sacrifices, and death. The awareness of who we are and courage to act on it is what will push us to either side. Being aware starts with understanding our birth chart, progressed through meditations, and matured by acting on what we know, doing what we know is the right thing. Embracing everything that comes with it, including pain, pleasure, love, hatred, friends, and enemies. Once we're able to fulfill all of this, we will be able to journey to our destiny with joy and peace. It's your choice. You know, they say happiness is a choice. You can always choose to be happy. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. I would just say from my own experience. Another thing I would say is, like, it's important for you to really feel it, to really embrace it. It's not gonna work if you're just gonna say to yourself, even to yourself, that yes, I get it, or, you know, like, I accept it, or I'm experiencing everything with kindness and grace. But if deep inside you're not at that place, you can't fool it. It's energy. It can't trick it, right? The energy doesn't have feelings and emotions on its own, right? It has a vibration and a frequency. And whichever vibration frequency you emanate in every single experience in your life, that's what's going to be recorded, and that's what the universe will return to you. So that's the real, not even a trick, I was going to say that's the trick, but that's the magic, really. That's the sacred knowledge. How to do this sincerely and purely. Okay, for the tarot deck. Oh, sorry, that was just the feminine. Let's see what we have for the masculine. Try not to make this too long. Okay, this one was trying to get out. Power is the execution of knowledge. Ooh, that's strong. Let's see, I definitely want to get the... Yeah, so this basically has, like, the choice between healthy food and junk food. Let's see. Knowing is not the same as doing. Everyone knows they need to eat healthy, shouldn't eat fried foods or chips. Everyone knows greens, fruits, and fish are nutritious and enough. They are also boring and often bland for our taste buds, perpetually yearning for sumptuous food. The bad one is more exciting, accessible, and pleasurable. Making the right choice isn't always easy because it takes a lot of strength to go against carnal instinct. The desire to feel good has always been our worst enemy because that desire is deeply seized in our being. It is rooted with our very desire to survive, and fighting it requires the highest level of awareness. We need to be in tune with our highest level of consciousness and strongest level of will to execute what we know to be right, especially if it goes against what we know feels good. Remember that the power to execute knowledge will guarantee the best or right decision. Fighting our instinct will pay off. Whatever pleasure we lost will be gained in a higher level. So for masculines, the message is basically, it says power is the execution of knowledge, right? So it's like that level of awareness, right? Where you're not just following your instincts blindly. And that's not what being in the flow or living the spiritual life is. A lot of people confuse those things. It's, if anything, it's being more aware of what's going on with your instincts, with your body, with your psyche on the subconscious level, things that are just driving you. That if you turn off your awareness, there will be some mechanisms that will be taking you forward through your day, through your life, right? This is for you to recognize what those are. A lot of them are built based on a variety of experiences and subjective take on it. Our psyche is trying to protect us at all costs. And what you will get as a subconscious program is exactly that. It's pretty simple. It's not very complex. So we'll assess a few data points of where you are, what's going on, and we'll take a decision based on this is the safest choice. This is what I'm gonna enjoy. Right? But as humans, we have consciousness. That's a big part of it, why we have it. So we make decisions and we go through our life with that understanding. And also with being able to change our subconscious programming that was caused by our society, our family, and our own experience, especially experience of pain, fear, different levels of trauma. Okay, that was pretty good. Masculines, stay aware. Feminines, there's a lot about destiny and you needing to let go of certain things that are not serving you, that are burdening you. Okay, for the main deck today, I'm going to be using the Thelema deck. So let's see, finally, let's find out what's the Venus retrograde impact on divine feminines watching. Okay, got a couple of cards right here. Oof, major arcanas, that's how you know it's real stuff, because planetary movements are definitely, that macro level of change. Okay, we have the Hierophant and the World in reverse. So what is it giving us? It's giving us the opportunity to, rather than seek the knowledge, the help, the truth on the outside, find it inside of us. As simple as it is. Be your own Hierophant for yourself. If you're looking for somebody who will give you answers, or for that specific piece of information that somebody knowledgeable will give you and it's gonna solve it all, no. It doesn't mean don't go to anyone or listen to anyone, but it means that at the end of the day, you're supposed to be your own Hierophant, your own mentor, priest, whatever speaks to you based on your religion and beliefs, right? It's not about looking for it in the world. It's about looking for it inside of you, connecting to your higher self, speaking to you, to the divine, about what is it that what is to be grateful for in what you do in your relationships and how you are in relationships, and what is it still that needs to be learned to make it better, to suffer less, to not to have to go through the same cycle over and over again. That sacred truth of what's the next step, or what should I do different, Or what is the next thing that I should do different? Beautiful. What about masculines? Four of Pentacles. Eight of Wands, 4 and 8. I like that. I also like that this Eight of Wands in this deck is like going to the sun. This is again connection with the universe, connection with the divine, and knowing, look at this girl, she's like guarding her treasure. But this is by far the only deck where I don't see Four of Pentacles as necessarily a negative card, you know, kind of like keeping things to yourself or being overprotective of your belongings or whatever, right? Like being closed off, right? She's actually found the treasure, and it's so special to her that she doesn't want anything to happen to it. She's like really, really taking care of it. It's something treasured, you know, it's something precious to her, right? And I feel like it's, for divine masculine, it's their love, it's their heart. They are connecting to their heart chakra, to the ability to love, the capacity to love, by, you know, mostly through the twin flame experience, because it's helping them peel off the layers and go deeper and be more vulnerable and be able to feel those things they weren't able to feel before, right? And yes, it's scary. And this Venus retrograde showing them how much they have to be thankful for, to treasure, in terms of how far they've come and what kind of love they have, what kind of love they can give, they have in their heart, and what kind of love they have from their divine feminine. Right? It's this exchange that's super special, that's making them, it's this, how to explain this, it's this mirroring effect when they're exchanging, as they're communicating with the feminine, is what makes them appreciate it more and see it, embrace it more. Like they wouldn't even know about those extra levels if it wasn't for the feminine, because they don't really use it with other people, or they never really had a use case to use it, if you know what I mean. So they use that main level programming, right? Now there's a lot more awareness, and it's such a different experience that they're in awe, and they're like, they don't want this to end. There's certain fear about that things are not gonna work out. That's what I'm gonna say here, right? But again, that's the programming. And remember that power of execution is knowledge. You are building your story, right? And the healthier the healthier choices you make, the more of healthier choices that you're gonna make, the faster you're gonna get to that place of union, of being happier, being less fearful and anxious about where you are or what your relationships look like with people. Okay, what else? How are the twins feeling towards each other? I'm gonna use, this is the Rider-Waite, but the holographic one. I'm gonna use this deck. So feminines to masculines, first of all. Got a few cards here. Oh, wow, there is a lot. I might actually reshuffle because I have a lot going. Feminines to masculines. How feminines feeling towards masculines at this point? Ooh. All right, Seven of Cups in the Tower. Wow. So the feminines are feeling like there is just so much going on in their life that they realize that, how do I put this? Well, I mean, the Tower is not something that you can choose or that depends on you anyway, right? So they can feel the Tower coming, that it will bring the revelation of which ones out of these themes are supposed to be in the forefront right now. And obviously their twin flame is one of those things for sure, like actual connection. I mean, obviously everything on the twin flame journey can be somehow linked to your twin, but I mean like actual communication or planning next steps or whatever, like taking the relationship forward, being proactive in it. Like that is part of this list, right? And they're waiting to see from the universe. So like they can feel that that moment is coming, the Tower moment, where it's going to be clear. Because there are some stimuli that are getting them to question whether they're supposed to take an action towards the idea right now. And for everyone, it's going to be a little different, right? But there is this like nudge that they can feel, and they're like, does that mean I'm actually supposed to be going out there and doing something? But I would just say wait for things to unfold naturally. Don't do anything just yet. That's what I'm getting for you, feminines. What about masculines in there? So when it comes to how they're feeling like they want to reach out, they want to lend a helping hand, to talk about what's going on, which was each of them, you know, like both of their counterparts, and be able to support each other and to build on it. That's where they are right now. What about masculines? How are they feeling towards feminines in the moment? Ooh, Devil. And Two of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, so the masculines are still trying to see if this connection will fit into their life as it is, as into that template or the markup that they've build out for themselves. That, you know, that doesn't include the twin flame journey, doesn't include its intricacies or the bigger mission or anything like that. It's what they've built based on their 3D experiences and maybe some childhood dreams, or maybe what their friends are up to, and they are kind of like seeing it and wanting to do something similar, right? It's all pretty much 3D plan. But they're now looking at how will the feminine and their future together will fit into that plan. And yes, they already understand that it doesn't look like it's fitting very well. So either the plan needs to change, or maybe they just need a new plan altogether. So there is a little bit of that ooziness in their feeling of like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work out. Well, and the third option is, of course, that the scene with the feminine needs to change, right? But even as they're approaching this in a 3D way, they're still realizing that that's probably not going to happen, right? So it's also about finding compromise. That's your Two of Pentacles here, right? Are we going to be able to find compromise or not? I'm not sure. Like right now, they're in that energy where they aren't even sure if they really want to. Maybe they should stick to their plan, right? And if the feminine is not gonna comply, then it's not meant to be like that. Okay, messages between the twins. Messages from masculines to feminines. What would they like to say? Ooh. Yeah, so they're basically saying that they understand that the truth is with their feminine, that the wisdom, the knowledge is with the feminine. Like what their feminine says, they deep down they know that that's the truth, that they're supposed to trust it, to take it in. But they're still missing certain balance and maybe even patience to run with it, to like see what it's gonna be like if they, because a lot of the truth is different from how they've been living their life so far, right? So it's almost like, I don't know, if I can test the theory and see the results in a month, I may go with it, right? But it doesn't always happen like that. And sometimes it doesn't happen like that on purpose, so that you don't give your conditions to the universe, to the divine, right? So there is a kind of, basically the masculines are saying, deep down, I believe you, but right now, it just doesn't feel like I have the time to try it out, to test it out, or to give, like, not to test it out, to give it a try. There we go. Whatever advice they've got from you feminines recently, they took it in, but they're not sure if they have the time and the resources, the energy to run with it, to take it forward. How are feminines feeling towards masculines? What would they like to tell them? Knight of Swords in reverse. They don't want to talk. Why not? Oh, and the Chariot. Yeah, they want to move forward. They don't want to do too much back and forth or small talk or like shallow talk, right? They understand that it probably is not, they can feel that it's not the best time to talk about something serious. Again, Venus retrograde, there you go. And they don't want to waste time on talking for the sake of talking, kind of like that, right? So they're focusing at this time on their own path, their own journey, and what kind of things they can progress with personally, professionally, in their own right, with still the reunion in mind, in the picture, right? But without, they don't wanna, so they're basically saying to Divine Masculine, it's not that I don't care about you, I do, I always do, but give me my space now to work on things that I need to work on in my own right, and we're all gonna do better for it. Okay, last but not least, the self-compassion card. The self-compassion practice of the day. Nothing personal. When was the last time someone got under your skin? That's your Venus retrograde topic. Can you think of 3 reasons they may have acted the way they did that have nothing to do with you? 3 reasons that they may have hurt you somehow, or made you angry, or frustrated, or upset. Can you think of 3 reasons why it wasn't about you? Right? So it's nothing personal practice. Okay, I wish you all the best, guys. In my next reading, I'm gonna talk about full moon in Aquarius and everything that that brings about. Is gonna be pretty big. Okay, I love you all, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.